Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from CantiLeiver and welcome to this landing and legs session with Rejuvenate8Physio. We are delighted to be joined by Louise from Rejuvenate8Physio, Mercedes from South Durham, Lucy from City of Birmingham and Megan from Milton Keynes. We're going to be running another giveaway all week where the winner will be picked at random from social media posts, tagging CantiLeiver and Rejuvenate8Physio and using the hashtag landing and legs. If you have a private account, please direct messages with your videos or pictures to show us how you're getting on in the session. You could win a Rejuvenate8Physio goodie bag and a £50 CantiLeiver voucher. Have a great session, everybody.
Thanks, Natalie. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's combined CantiLeiver and Rejuvenate Physiotherapy Landing and Legs Sunday session. Like last week's strength and stretch class, today's workout is suitable for all gymnastics disciplines and can be done using regular items found around the home. For this class, all you will need is a sofa, a sturdy step, or bench or coffee table that is strong enough to stand and jump on. If you have a CantiLeiver Plyo Box, that's great. Just have it ready for later. Before you start, remember to check with your parents first that they are happy and feel it is safe for you to stand and jump on certain items. It's really important that you listen to your body and only do what feels comfortable. Remember, focus on your form and the quality of your movements rather than the number of repetitions you do. Have a drink with you and remember it's okay to take a break and rest at any time. Okay, is everyone ready to go? First, we need to do a cardiovascular warm-up to get your heart pumping and your blood and oxygen circulating around your body. So let's get going by jogging on the spot. And we're going to do 30 seconds of each. So let's go, girls. Jogging on the spot for me, that's it. Get those knees and those arms moving. Super stuff. Nice and tight, arms driving in front. Very good. We have 10 seconds of this left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to go into a skip action where one arm moves up by your ear and the opposite knee drives towards your chest. Just be careful you don't hit anything. That's it. Drive up off the floor. That's it, we're all happy, it's a nice sunny day. Let's get those arms and legs moving. Stretch everything. Brilliant. Keep going for a few more seconds, girls. Fantastic. Now you're going to pretend you're holding a skipping rope and you're jumping from side to side. So imagine you skipping through that rope as your feet bounce from right to left, keeping those knees nice and tight. Use those Achilles to push yourself off the floor. Amazing. Keep going, girls. Squeeze. Fantastic. We must be starting to feel warm. Okay, now we're going to do straight leg kicks. And you can do this also by turning from the right to the left. So kick the legs straight out in front, keeping your knees straight. Let's go, girls. And you can add a turn into it if you want to. So we get used to rotating. That's it, knees tight, toes pointed. Kick those legs in front. Fantastic. You can have your arms bent or your arms straight. Get those legs moving. Brilliant. Now it's heel flick time. So hands behind your back and let's kick those feet towards your hands and towards your bottom. That's it. A nice bounce, get into a good rhythm. You should start to feel that your heart's pumping a little bit faster and your body's starting to warm up now. Brilliant. We have 5 seconds to go. Keep going, girls. Amazing. Fantastic. Star jumps. Legs out and in with the arms moving at the same pace. That's it. Stretch those arms and legs. Heads up. Tummy's tight. Keep going, girls. See if you can stretch those knees loose. Brilliant, look at that. 5 seconds to go. Brilliant. Spotty dogs, where one leg moves forwards as one leg moves backwards. So let's go. That's it, and you can drive those arms up. That's it, the front leg bends, the back leg goes nice and straight. Arms are driving up by our ears. Tight, fast movements. Okay, now it's going to get a little bit more complex. We're going to circle our arms and do a side lunge and then touch the floor with the opposite hand to the leg that's bent. So circle, lunge, touch the floor, and then go in the opposite direction. That's it, drive off that floor. Brilliant. Keep going, girls, you're doing so well. We must definitely be starting to feel warm. Okay, we have 2 left. The first one is sprinting, so let's get those feet moving as fast as you can. Go, fast feet, fast feet. Imagine you sprinting down that runway or down the tumble track. Toes forwards, that's it, drive off the balls of your feet. Fast legs, keep going. You're almost there. Go, go, go. Fantastic. Okay, let's finish with some burpees to a stretch jump or a tuck jump. Off you go, girls. Knees into chest and jump up. Yes. You have 10 seconds left to go, girls. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. That's your cardiovascular warm-up completed. Now it's time to wake up your muscles a little bit more so they are active and ready for the workout ahead. So let's carry on with our warm-up. The first exercise we will do is squats to heel raises. So place your feet hip width to shoulder width apart, bend your knees and lower into the squat, and then drive up to the heel raise position. And we'll do 5 to 10 of these. As you drive up onto your tiptoes, straighten those knees, keep your core nice and tight. You can have your hands by your side, you can have your fingers interlinked in front, or your arms up overhead, whatever suits you. Super, we'll do one more. And now we'll move on to crab walking. So if you stay with your feet hip width apart, just bend your knees slightly so they're soft and relaxed. You're going to step your right foot out to the side, so you end up in a wider sumo squat with your weight on both legs, and then step your left foot towards your right, so you're in parallel again. And then we'll go in the opposite direction, left foot out and join. Go at a pace that suits you. Try and keep your body up nice and tall, and check that your kneecaps stay lined up with where your laces would be if you had your trainers or your shoes on. And this wakes up those bottom muscles. Brilliant, girls. We'll do one more. Fantastic. And now we're going to go on to doing a lunge to a knee hug. So Megan's going to face side on, feet hip width apart as we lunge. You step one leg forward, so step your right leg forwards, drop your left knee down to the floor, keep your body and head up nice and tall, then drive the back leg up off the floor and hug the knee towards your chest. Hold your balance for a couple of seconds and step that left leg back and lunge again. Let's do 5 on that leg. Head up, Megan, please. Good job, much nicer. As you lunge, again, check that front knee, stays lined up with the middle of your foot. Core embraced and tight. There we go. Keep your feet hip width apart. Just be careful, Luce, those feet aren't too close together. Brilliant. And then let's swap onto the other leg. So left leg lunge and drive the knee up towards the chest. Super. 4 more. Smoothly down, smoothly up. Keep everything nice and tight. Amazing. This is very nice, girls. Brill. Now we're moving on to monster walking. So again, our feet are hip width apart. Our knees are soft, so they're slightly bent. We're going to step our right leg forwards, keeping our feet hip width apart. And then we step our left leg to join forwards. Good. Right leg back. And then left leg back. Keep those kneecaps lined up with the middle of your feet. Step, step, forward, step, step, backwards. Good. Keep your body up nice and tall. Make sure your heels go down onto the floor. We just have a few more exercises to go through. Brilliant. So now we're going to move on to a diagonal lunge. So you're going to step your right leg forwards and over to the side and lunge into that position. Let's go, girls. So step, lunge, one leg stays straight and the other leg bends. Super. And then back in the other direction. So slightly forwards too, Lucy, not just to the side. Diagonal for me. Brilliant. Nicely done. That's a good pace, girls. Smoothly in, smoothly out. Let's warm these legs up. We'll do one more in each direction. Fantastic. Now it's time to do our T-shape. So to activate your hamstrings and your bottom muscles a little bit more. So if you stand on your right leg with your right knee slightly soft and bent and your left leg behind you, your body's going to be like a seesaw. So as your body leans forwards, your leg lifts up to a nice flat T shape. So we're looking for our core to be engaged and strong. And we hit a beautiful T shape. Super, and come back up and then switch on to the other side. So we can alternate our legs, or if you prefer, you can do 5 on one side, then 5 on the other. Keep that head in a nice neutral position, our shoulders square, tummy tight, and a smooth lean forwards and back up of your body. That's it, Megan. Try and go a little bit faster down to that shape. Super stuff and back up. So you lean forward so your body is parallel to the floor. Brilliant. So now we just have our last warm-up exercise to do, which is going to be our inchworm. So we're going to start and bend down to pike. Walk our hands forwards so we end up in front support. Think about having those tummies nice and tight, our backs nice and flat. Then walk your feet in towards your hands. So hit the pike shape or until you feel a gentle stretch. Then walk your feet backwards so you go back to front support where your shoulders are over your hands. And then your hands return towards your feet. Fantastic. Keep going at that for me, girls. So forwards to front support, walk your feet into pike, walk your feet back to front support, and then your hands return to your feet, So you're back to the starting position. Amazing. And we'll do 1 or 2 more attempts. So our stomach muscles are nice and awake and they're ready for our workout. Excellent. So when you're ready, you can finish that repetition and we will have a break before we start our leg session. Great job, girls. So we're going to start with 3 to 5 squat down, stretch, jump up, where you explode off the floor. So feet hip width apart, and when you're ready, girls, squat down and jump up. Let's go. Squat and jump, squat and jump. That's it. Brill. Fantastic. Then let's do some long jumps. So now you're going to jump as far as you can forwards, land in a nice squat position, and then run back with high knees for me. When you're ready, explode forwards and high knees, run back. Super. Push and high knees back. Fantastic. How far can you guys jump? Amazing. We'll do 1 more. Yes. And to finish this little jump warm-up circuit, we're going to do some jump ups with quarter turns. And you're going to do 4, so you end up turning all the way round back to your start position. So when you're ready, stretch, jump up with a quarter turn. And you can turn in whichever direction you want to. If you fancy, you could do one way around and then the opposite way around. Brilliant, girls. We'll let Megan get all the way back round. And we are done with the warm-up. Yes, let's move on. So it's now time to use your Plyo boxes or get ready so you have a nice stable surface like a sofa or a solid coffee table to work with. So the girls are going to go and get their plyometric boxes so we can start our little circuit of leg strengthening exercises. The first exercise we're going to do is a double leg box squat. So you will position yourself with the box behind you. Your feet are hip width apart, toes facing forwards. Arms either in a zombie position, so they're out in front, or with your fingers interlinked and your elbows bent. Either is absolutely fine. You are then going to bend your knees and drive your hips backwards as if you were going to sit down. Whilst doing this, keep looking straight ahead, make sure your shoulders are square and your core is engaged. And your kneecaps need to stay lined up with where your laces would be if you had your shoes on and not drift together. Then you drive through your heels, straighten your knees and return to the starting position. Okay, so let's try 8 to 10 of these at your own pace. Let's go, girls. So the knees bend, the hips go backwards, and then we drive up to a standing position. Keep that head up, eyes looking straight in front, body fairly high and not too low, shoulders square, and kneecaps should be tracking over the line of your laces. What you don't want to see is your knees start to knock together. If you want to make it harder, don't allow your bottom to touch the plyometric block. Just hover slightly above before you return to the starting position. Amazing. And at home, you could do up to 3 sets of 10 of those if you wanted to. Now, let's move on to a hamstring bridge. So for this, you will need to be lying on your back with your feet on top of the block, so your heels are slightly over the edge. And your knees should be above above your hips. Arms by your side so you feel nice and stable, and palms pointing down to the floor. When you're ready, you're going to drive through your hips so your bottom lifts up off the floor and you make a straight line from your knee to your shoulders without letting your back arch or without letting your rib cage stick out. And then slowly, in a controlled way, you return back to the floor. So again, when you're ready, let's try 8 to 10 of these. As you lift up, think about trying to keep your hips nice and square so they're not wobbling from side to side. And a great way to do this is to think about having a tray of drinks resting across your hips. And as you lift up, you want to keep every drop of the drink in the glasses. So you don't want to wobble from side to side so you spill your drinks. Brilliant. And this should work at the back of your thighs and in your bottom. Only drive up as far as you can to the point where it feels comfortable and you're not overworking your back. Amazing, girls. Again, we could do up to 3 sets of 10 of these if you wanted to. Our third exercise is called a Bulgarian split squat. So again, for this, you will need to have your back to the plyometric block. You'll stand roughly half a meter to a meter away from the block, and you'll place one foot on top of the block. So the top of your foot, where your laces are, is pointing down to the floor. Before we go, make sure you're looking straight ahead, your shoulders are level, your core is engaged, and your hips are nice and square so we're not twisted. When you're ready, you're going to bend your back knee so it drops down towards the floor to the point where your front leg is horizontal to the floor. And then you drive through your heel of the front leg and return to the starting position. Brilliant, girls. So when you're ready, try 8 to 10 of those, smoothly down, smoothly up. Watch the kneecap of the front leg. You don't want to see it wobble in and out. You shouldn't look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Our core should be nice and straight and our hips nice and square. Only lower as far as feels comfortable and controllable. And you go at a pace that suits you. This is brilliant work, girls. Toes forwards, knee tracking over the middle of your foot. Fantastic. Now let's switch sides. So again, feet hip width apart. That's it. You don't want to be too far or too close to the block because it will stop you lowering down properly. Everyone check that their hips are nice and square to the in front. Fantastic. Draw those tummies in so our core's working, and when you're ready, bend that back knee and drop it down towards the floor. You may feel that one leg feels easier to do than the other, and that's okay. Just work a range that feels comfortable and steady and you're in control of. Watch those front knees to check your kneecap is following over the middle of your foot and your knees not too far ahead of your toes. If your knee's going too far ahead of your toes, you'll want to just step your front foot a little bit further forwards away from the block. Amazing. Okay, so let's do one last exercise in this circuit, and it's going to be a hip thrust. So you're going to sit on the floor with your back to the box, knees bent, feet hip width apart and flat on the floor, and your knees should be hip width apart. So there should be a small gap between your knees. Your shoulder blades should be resting against the block. And when you're ready, you're going to drive your hips up off the floor. So you make a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Just lower your hips slightly, Megan. Beautiful. So your core is tight and your rib cage is not sticking out, and then you slowly lower your bottom towards the floor and your shoulders will lift off the block. So when you're ready, girls, 8 to 10 repetitions, drive up, make sure that back stays nice and flat and isn't archy, and then control back down. Keep your knees hip width apart. If you need a little bit more stability, you can always have your arms out to the side. If you'd like to make it a little bit harder, you can have your arms crossed over your chest, or you can drive them up over your head as you lift, like you would for a somersault. Just be careful, girls, that those backs don't arch. Fantastic. This is really great work. And when you're ready, let's have a quick drink before we do circuit number 2. So, circuit 2 is a little bit more dynamic and explosive. Remember, only jump on or off a height that feels controllable. You're better to be jumping onto a lower level and it's safe than a higher level and it becoming dangerous. So exercise number 1 is toe tap switches. You're going to place the ball of one foot onto the top of the Plyo box or your sofa or your coffee table. The girls are going to stand with their hands on their hips and very quickly they're going to switch their legs. So one foot goes down to the floor and the other leg goes onto the block, and that happens at the same time. We're going to do 30 seconds worth of this, okay girls? So let's go, switch and change. Let's get those legs moving, little bit of a faster pace. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Brilliant stuff. Keep your cores tight, heads looking straight in front if you can. If you need to watch your toes, that's absolutely fine. Okay, brilliant. Then exercise number 2 is a box squat jump with a step off. So the girls are going to be about half a metre away from their block or so. Their feet are hip width apart. They're going to bend their knees, squat and jump up onto the block. Land with their knees nice and soft and their toes pointing forwards. And then they're going to step down off the block and repeat. So when you're ready, let's try 30 seconds of this. Bend your knees, jump up, land and step off and repeat. Brilliant. Let's get some power into those legs. When you become more comfortable with a lower level, then you can consider switching your block so it's higher and you're having to jump more. Fantastic. Excellent work, girls. And our final exercise in this circuit is a burpee box jump. For this, again, we're going to be facing the block about half a metre away, feet hip width apart. Hands are going to go down onto the block. Feet will then jump back so you end up in a front support position. Bend your elbows to press up. Your elbows can go out to a wide arm press up or backwards. Return to front support, jump the feet in and lift the hands up off the block and then jump onto the block and land in a nice squat position. Jump off and repeat. So hands down, front support, press up, jump in, jump up. Good. Keep going for me, girls. How many can you manage in that 30 seconds? Don't forget to press up. Brilliant. Think about nice tight front support positions. Your knees are in the right place as you land on top of the block. And at home, You could do this circuit 3 times through if you wanted to, 30 seconds of each, 3 circuits of that. Just do as much or as little as you feel comfortable doing though. Amazing work, girls. Fantastic. That is circuit number 2 complete. Our final circuit is a landing control circuit. Again, only use a block height that feels comfortable and controllable, and you will most likely want to have a mat to hand so you're landing on a fairly nice soft surface, nothing too hard, or onto carpet like Lucy is doing there. To begin with, the girls are going to stand on top of their blocks, and they're going to drop forwards off the block. So you hang your preferred leg in front of the block. You drop down and land with both feet hip width apart and knees soft. So you lower into the squat and hold that landing position for 3 seconds. When you land, make sure your heels go down onto the floor and that your knees and your hips bend so it's a nice soft landing and not too jerky or jarring, okay? Let's try 3 of those. So on top of the block, your preferred leg in front, drop off the block, land feet hip width apart with kneecaps lined up in the middle of your laces. Hold that position, brilliant. Let's try 1 more going forwards. Nice soft light landings. We shouldn't hear any elephants on the floor. Amazing. Now we're going to do exactly the same but backwards, because we move forwards and backwards in gymnastics. Again, stand towards the edge of your block. Hang one leg over the back of the block. You drop down to land in a nice soft squat position. Body up, head in front, strong arms, kneecaps lined up with where your laces would be if you had your trainers or your shoes on. Fantastic. We'll do a couple more of those. Make every landing as light and as strong and stable as possible. Excellent work, girls. I'm loving this. Brilliant. 1 more. Fantastic. Okay, now we're going to drop off to the right-hand side of the block. So everyone goes on top of their blocks. You go towards the right-hand edge, but don't stand right on the edge of the block, okay? So we keep it nice and stable. Right leg hangs over the side of the block, and you drop down to land in that nice squat position. So here you may find that your knees want to drift towards one another a little bit more as you land. So try and keep your knees hip width apart. So the center of your kneecap is lined up with the middle of your foot. Let's have 2 more goes, girls. So we've done 3. Drop down and hold. 2, 3. Fantastic. 1 more. Climb back up on that block. And down we drop. Fantastic. Let's do the opposite. So over to the left-hand side. Make sure your block's on a nice stable surface. Hang that left leg over the edge. We drop down to a nice steady landing position. Watch those knees, don't wobble in and out. You may find one side is slightly more challenging than the other and harder to control. So leg over the edge and drop down and hold. 2, 3. Beautiful landings, girls. 1 more. We want nice, steady landings without tumbles or our vaults. Brilliant. Now we're going to make it a little bit more complex, and we're going to add a quarter turn. So you will stand side on to your block. So if you watch Lucy, she's going to go side on. And her right leg is going to hang over the edge of the block. She's going to drop down with a quarter turn to finish facing forwards. Again, the balls of her feet touch first, and then her heels soften to the floor as her knees and hips bend. So we have a nice, light, soft landing position. And you can try 3 in each direction. Let's have a go, girls. It doesn't matter which leg you start with. So you drop down, quarter turn in the air, spot that landing position, hold for a couple of seconds. So you're showing the judges, I am rock solid. Climb back on and repeat. This is excellent, girls. You're all bending your knees beautifully as you land, and we never want to land on straight legs in gymnastics because that's very stressful for the knees. So as our balls of our feet touch the floor, you should feel your heels lower to the floor, your knees and your hips bend. So your bottom goes slightly back towards the block. Brilliant. We'll have one more go, girls. Excellent. So our last exercise is designed to see how explosive and how reactive you can be. So we're going to climb on top of the block, facing forwards. Position one leg over the edge of the block. It's important to drop down, not jump up as you come off the block. You want to prepare yourself for landing so your feet are hip width apart. When your feet touch the floor, the aim is to explode off the floor as quickly as possible and jump as high as you can in the air. So the aim is to spend as little time on the floor as possible. Are we ready, girls? Let's see how explosive your legs are. Drop down and rebound up as quickly as possible. So you need to imagine that that fire is hot. The floor is hot, sorry, and you don't want to burn your feet. You want to get off that floor as quickly as possible and then land in a nice squat position. Beautiful, Mercedes. Very good. Explode upwards so our body's beautifully straight. Let's do a couple more, girls. Check your landing position so your knees are lined up with where your laces would be on your shoes. Your knees are nice and soft on that final landing position. So explode up. Yes. Good. One more for good luck. This is excellent work, girls. Fantastic. Brilliant work, girls. So that's our 3 circuits done.
Thank you so much to Louise from Rejuvenate8Physio, Mercedes, Megan and Lucy for another brilliant session. Don't forget to tag us in your posts for the giveaway, or if you have a private account, send us them directly. Use the hashtag landing and legs. See you next week.